Hello YouTube, this is Geeky Austin, and today we are going to take a look at the Trendmasters Shatter Godzilla 1998. This Godzilla figure stands at about 7¼ inches tall from the top fin on his back. And anyways, for a size comparison, here he is with two other Trendmaster Godzilla 1998 figures, the Living Godzilla 1998 and the Nuclear Strike Godzilla 1998. And also, here's a quick comparison with another figure, the SH Monster Arts first release Godzilla 1994. Okay, anyways, before we get on to the detail, paint, and articulation, I just want to go ahead and make a quick statement that most people by now already knows. Happy 20th anniversary to the 1998 Godzilla. I'm 2 days late on this, but I still wanted to do this video anyways, and this is the main reason I was doing it. 1998 Godzilla has been around for 20 years now. It came out May 20th, 1998. And in those 20 years, has it really held up that much? Well, I'll go ahead and state that to me, not really, but if you really want to know my opinion, then you can check out my first ever video that I uploaded, which was a very quick review on the 1998 Godzilla and my personal feelings about how that film is to me now. But anyways, let's get on to the detail and paint of this figure. And overall, the detail and paint is not that bad. Trendmasters, the company that made this, is a company that made Godzilla figures back in the mid to late 1990s, back when the time when a lot of toys didn't get a lot of detail like they do now, though it depends on the company, but still, for a just about 20-year-old figure, the detailing on this guy is still pretty dang good. All the nice little ridges here, bumps on there, on his chin and his back, the nice little ridge patterns all the way up on his dorsal plates here, all the way across. Very nice looking, especially these random matter of bumps right here and spikes on his arms. Very nice, especially the hands, the claws look really good. Again, for such an old figure, the detailing on this guy is still really good. And I really do like how it looks, especially the nice rigid pattern going on across his entire belly right here and chest, all the way up to the end of his tail. Very nice looking. And it's also got some very skin flap looking things right here underneath his neck. Very nice. And the tongue is very decent. It's very basic, but again, that's not where they decided to put all the detail into. It was on the entire body itself. A nice little look of his face, a little eye right there. His teeth don't look too bad. So yeah, detail wise, it still holds up pretty well despite how old it is. And honestly, the paint job is just about the same. It's all colored in just a flat gray mostly, but there are some nice shades of darker gray and black blotched in several areas. And a lot of spray painted silver going across the body right here on the neck all the way down. In between his legs right here, his dorsal fins also have this shade of silver going across. And also hinted in with that silver, hopefully you can see that, hopefully the lighting ain't too bad. There is a nice shade of blue going across here. And also that little bit of blue is present throughout different parts of the silver portions on his body. But mostly it's all up here on the top of his head. So there is at least a little bit of variation on it. And also, again, very hard to pick up I think, but there is tiny hints of gold and around on his chest right here. I don't know if that can be picked up very well, but there are very tiny hints of gold on the figure. And of course, the claws are nicely painted with a flat black. The eyes have a nice orange look to them, and the teeth are just a flat white. But yeah, overall, the paint is very basic, and not a whole lot is going on, but still, it doesn't look bad for what it is. Okay, and on to the articulation. The articulation on this guy, again, for these older type of figures, it is very limited, but you can still get a couple of nice poses depending on how well balanced your figure is. Anyways, the head has no articulation at all because of its action feature, which I'll show in a minute. The arms are on a swivel, which can swivel all the way around, though his dorsal plates can kind of get in the way of that. And actually, yeah, that's about as far as it can go on this hand. And it can go down about that far to his leg. This one can also rotate pretty much about all the way around, but it gets caught on the leg right there. Still not too bad. This leg joint right here is also a swivel, which can swivel up about that much there and about that much there. And this leg right here does not have a swivel. This is the action feature, which if you pull down on his leg, Godzilla will open up his jaw and bite, which is not a bad little feature. It does get in the way a little bit of what you can articulate with his legs, but still, it's a neat little feature. Also, the feature is supposed to make him roar, but sadly, the battery compartment right here is sealed on. I've tried again and again to get the screw off, but yeah, it's rusted shut, so this Godzilla figure's roar ability no longer works. But if you pull down on the leg, he would do the Godzilla 1998 roar, and he would also roar if you press this little button right here on his side right there. If you were to press that button, he would roar as well. But okay, for the rest of the articulation on the legs are on these, not as bad on this one, but they're supposed to be these type of geared hinges right here that pop in place instead of just swiveling or rotating properly. But yeah, about that much, and you can spread them out about that far right there. This one here does it a little bit more. Yeah, if you hear that right there, that's what I'm talking about, that type of joint. Just got to be very careful with it. And again, both knees are the same way, about that much, and can go out about that far on both sides. And for his feet, the same thing. They're on a swivel as well, or a hinge, I mean, that can go up about that much and about that far down on both sides. And the last bit of articulation he has is right here at the end of the tail. It's on a swivel that can go all the way around. So like I said, the articulation on this guy is very limited, and you gotta be careful on how you want to pose and stand him up, because this can get in the way, or just his overall balance can get in the way. So you gotta play around with the feet just a bit till you can pose him in such a way that he'll stand up and look at least alright on your shelf. That's about how I've been posing him, is like that. Okay, so overall the detailing on this guy is not that bad at all. It's not Monster Arts level, but still for a 20-year-old figure, it's still not bad. All the detailing on it looks really good. I really like how it turned out. The paint job on it is very, very basic, but it still looks alright. The articulation, like I said, is very limited, but if you mess around with your imagination a bit, you can probably get him in a couple of poses, but still, it's very limited. And pretty much, for a 20-year-old figure, would I recommend this guy still? I absolutely would. All the 1998 Godzilla figures have a nice little charm to them that even if you particularly don't care for the movie, the figures themselves are still fun to collect and fun to own. And in my personal opinion, I feel that this is probably the best Godzilla 1998 figure they released within this scale range. And that means that even the Living Godzilla 98 I showed earlier, I feel that this is a better figure. I just love the proportions on it a lot more, and I do love the little action feature even if the sound doesn't work. So anyways, again, yeah, I definitely would recommend this. You can find him on eBay for a cheap price. He's not hard to come by. And just like I did, you could probably look out and find him at a flea market as well if you look around. But anyways, once again, I want to give a shout out to Godzilla 1998. Happy 20th anniversary. You may not be the best movie in the world or the most beloved Godzilla, but still, for nostalgia reasons, you hold a place in my heart just for that reason. And definitely, like I said, happy birthday to you. A little late, but anyways. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been Geeky Austin. Also, the feature is supposed to make him roar, but sadly... Nice, I'll bump the camera.